Typically, the first thing I do when I meet with a student, especially if they're enrolling in liberal arts, is I ask, do you have, some sort of plan or some sort of goal? Do you have a dream job in mind? Do you have a college that you're interested in transferring to? Do you have a program maybe that you're interested in transferring to? And then depending on that answer, we'll start to map out a pathway for them to reach that goal. In some cases, the student is working towards a program at River Valley, maybe like our registered nurse program or Rad Tech. So we'll work closely together to complete some prereqs and co-reqs, and then hopefully get them into their new program. In other cases, the student is hoping to transfer to a four-year college. So in those cases, typically what I do is try to map out general education requirements with the student that they can complete at River Valley and then transfer to their four-year school. And hopefully with that, they'll enter as a junior and go right into their major classes. Touched on this a little bit, but we have a lot of different students in liberal arts, and it's a good fit for a lot of different students for different reasons. Some students want to earn their AA degree in liberal arts. I'm working with two students this spring who they'll finish up in May, they'll graduate, and they've already lined up promotions with their current company. So these are students who have worked for their company for 4 or 5 years. They've really proved themselves as great workers, but they were missing that credential to be able to move along to that next step. So in some cases, that's perfect for those students. I think we have a few students attending right now who are not sure about their major, and liberal arts is also a great fit for those students. If you want to try out a few different courses, maybe in a few different areas, liberal arts is a great way to do that. Carrie is right. One of our most popular open electives is Intro to Social Services. It's a great way to try out a new program and see if you're interested in taking it, any further. Intro to Business is another open elective that students they take quite frequently, just to test out the major and see if business is a good fit for them, or if they maybe, want to explore something else. We have a lot of students, especially this past year, we've had a lot of students who plan to attend a four-year college and earn their bachelor's, but they've started at River Valley because they can stay home and complete their general education requirements. Community college offers the least expensive option for college credits in the state. So it's a great way to get through your general education requirements and then transfer to your four-year school while you're ready. And then I also touched on this briefly, but we have some students in liberal arts who are working toward becoming accepted to a more competitive program. So maybe it's a student who really wants to get into our RN program, registered nurse, but she needs or he needs a few more, might need that AMP credit to make their application stronger and get into that program. They could do that in liberal arts and then, prepare to move on to that next program when they're ready. In general, the liberal arts program is 60 requirements. Some students complete the full program and graduate from liberal arts and then transfer. Some students will stay with us for a year, maybe a year and a half, complete some credits, and then move on before they've graduated. So these are the requirements for the liberal arts degree. As you can see, there's a lot of flexibility. So it gives you the option to choose the classes that work for either your transfer goals or just for you to, explore different interests. Under the open electives, you have 9 to 12 credits. So that's where you could fill in with Intro to Business, Intro to Social Services, something like that, and just explore different areas that you're interested in. I'm very surprised that this past fall, the most popular humanities class seems to be sign language. Our students absolutely seem to love it. So it's a very interesting class. There's different areas in liberal arts where you can play around and just, find out about different interests. As the liberal arts advisor, I work very closely with the four-year colleges in New Hampshire on transfer agreements and articulation agreements. So some of the colleges that we work closely with are Keene State, UNH, Southern New Hampshire, Granite State, Plymouth State, Colby-Sawyer, New England College, and Rivier. We also work with quite a few colleges and universities throughout New England outside of New Hampshire. And if we don't have a pathway set up with them, we can create one if we have a student who's interested in attending. So I think it's very fun to work on these agreements. It's interesting to see how our gen eds line up with different programs and how we can fit all of that together into one map and make it work for the student for that 4-year degree. This is the start of an example of a transfer pathway for Southern New Hampshire. So we've created transfer pathways for a lot of our different programs and with the different 4-year colleges in the state. This is just the start of an example so that you can see kind of you know, what you would look at if you were a student that planned to transfer. In this case, this would be for a student who is entering into liberal arts at River Valley and then plans to transfer to Southern New Hampshire for their online BA in psychology. So what we can do on the left side, you'll see these are River Valley courses. And then on the right side, you'll see how those courses would transfer to SNU and line up to your BA in psychology program. So for some colleges, we have transfer pathways set up like this. And then for some colleges, we work more we work with students more to have them complete the gen ed requirements at River Valley and then transfer to their 4-year college when they're ready. So this is a screenshot of the start of a spreadsheet that we have with UNH where they list their different discovery requirements. That's what they call their gen ed requirements. And then these are a list of our courses that match up and would transfer to those requirements. So this is a lot of information, but basically they're just examples to show you that if you have any plans to transfer, you can start at River Valley and you'll be in good hands.